Hello, everyone. Happy Monday, February 13th. First Monday in the post Super Bowl era of this year, anyway. So that is not really significant at all, but we're back and we are on YouTube like always. We're on Instagram as always. YouTube continues to be the fan favorite, I think, and the host favorite. But anyway, whichever one you like, do it. I had an excellent sleep last night. Just going to put that out there so that we don't need to speculate or anything. I slept the entire night without a single wake up, without moving. Just woke up in the same position. It's a strange event. Happens. I think a couple times a year, maybe less than that. So that's kind of cool. I think the reason it happened. Doug, welcome to the show. By the way,
Thank you.
I think the reason for that, my such a good sleep, is that as we mentioned, when the wives go away, we tend to just stay up really late.
Mm-hmm.
And I was up until 2 a.m. the night before last, and then up at like 7 for some reason because my daughter woke up, and then I was up with her.
2 a.m. What were you doing until 2 a.m.?
Well, I was trying to go to bed late, watching TV, doing computer stuff, just staying up as I always do. I don't want to go to bed before like 11 now. It's not a good practice for me. And then I was just kind of wired. I don't know what it was. And then it was like storming like crazy around 12:30. And I was just then tossing and turning while it stormed. So anyway, I was extremely tired yesterday cooking Super Bowl food. But the good thing about it is that when I went to bed, I was just out like a light in the whole night. And it's great, rare. So I'm feeling good about that.
I did not sleep well last night. I was up many, many times last night.
Yeah, it sounds like extenuating circumstances. Why don't you tell us?
Well, I'll spare everyone the details, but there is a stomach bug that Katie is dealing with that means that I've been helping her out and also managing the kids and trying to cook Super Bowl food for myself and the kids and all that stuff. but last night it was just like stomach bugs are the worst. They're just so gross. And
they are the worst.
Yeah. So thankfully, knock on wood, I haven't got anything yet. I stay safe and healthy so that we can have a great week of shows because I'm excited about.
Right.
I'm excited about this week.
Yeah, I don't know what we do if somebody was out for a whole week, like just suddenly surprise sick. I don't know how we would carry on, honestly. So hopefully it doesn't happen to you. We don't have any plan in place. Yeah. Well, too bad. Sorry to hear that for Katie's sake and for yours. That is no fun at all, especially with kids. I mean, having one person having to do all the kid duty plus care for a sick person is hard. No doubt about it. Well, I hope she gets better. All right. I didn't actually see the post, but I heard that you posted nachos on Instagram.
Oh, you didn't see the post?
I didn't. I don't usually go on Instagram very much. I mean, I do now and then, but I usually just let people tell me about it.
I did. I shared a picture of my nachos, and along with a poll asking if it was too many toppings or not.
And what people say?
So you gotta see if you gotta go to our Instagram and take a look at this because
you know why I didn't? Because I don't want to go see a big pile of nachos. I'm just not that interested in like that. Now, I actually did make nachos, but that was the reason I didn't. If it was like Doug made a cool pasta dish or a great simple pizza, I might go check it out. I know what a big mess of nachos looks like. It looks like a big pile.
It wasn't about showing the nachos. It was about the debate that would stem from the nachos.
Okay, I see. Maybe that's why I didn't do it. Maybe I didn't want to see. Maybe I didn't want to see all the people saying how good all the toppings were.
Actually, I just got a text message from your wife.
Yes,
a picture of nachos, and if that was what you made, then they're actually remarkably similar. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she sent that. She told me, she said, maybe you can share your nachos picture on the screen. And I said, I don't really want to get into the technical stuff. I just don't even know if we can screen share a photo that's not like a web tab. So I said, I don't know. And she said, I'm going to text it to Doug because I think, not sext it to Doug. I'm going to text it to Doug because she said, I think people will be really excited that you put so many toppings on a nachos plate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did. It wasn't like a personal choice. I made a recipe. Here's the book. Dustin Harder. I forget. Oh, you know what? He had a recipe. He's the guy who wrote that like cheeseburger nachos thing we talked about that was on Veg News the other day.
Oh yeah.
And I
Uh-huh.
said he was a cookbook author. That's his book. It's quick and easy. The idea is one pot, one pan. So the nachos were like, I think this is not atypical for nachos. You just spread them in a big sheet pan and then put all the things on top, including
Yep.
his like nacho cheese type sauce, and a bunch of vegetables and things like cabbage and bell pepper were on there first. So it actually wasn't a very unhealthy plate of nachos, but
Yeah.
and it was pretty good. We kind of just ate that for dinner.
Yeah,
So
that's what we ended up doing as well, or I ended up doing with the girls. But okay, so Dale Stevens here says, "Oh, so it was purely to bait Matt," and honestly, it was. I even was like, what else can I throw on top of here?
see, that's
Just
why I didn't do it. I knew it was going to be something that would make me angry.
it actually looked very similar to the ones you made, so I don't know that it would have, but um, but yeah, it was. We had nachos, and they were delicious. I also, the other big news of my Super Bowl eating was I tried the pizza rolls, the vegan pizza rolls from Morningstar,
Okay.
and
Good.
I was so stoked to give these to my girls. I was just like, I was hyping it up all
Of course.
day,
Right.
just real excited. I bought the Hidden Valley Vegan Ranch, plant powered ranch or whatever they call
Right.
it.
We've seen that. That you got that at Walmart, or where'd you get it?
Which I know I got it at Ingles at the grocery
Oh.
store.
You just went to the
And
ranch section and found it.
yeah, I just went right to the Hidden Valley section, and it was right there next to the regular kind. Although now there's
Okay.
like 8 different kinds or something. There's a bunch of different kinds, but it was right there, and it tastes remarkably similar. I mean, I cannot imagine dousing it all over my salad like I would as a kid. It's just so
Right.
thick and like
But all
tastes
ranch
so
is, right? I
unhealthy.
mean, that's just you've
Yeah.
changed. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a just developed. But it tastes remarkably similar. And I was just hyping it up all day. These pizza rolls and the ranch dressing, and I tried them right after they came out of the oven. It was exactly what I wanted, exactly what I was excited. And they were like, it's okay. They ate like 2 of them, and
Yeah.
and that was it. Yeah, it was kind of a letdown. I thought they were pretty good though. I mean, for what they were, I would never buy them on the regular, but for a treat
Right.
like that, I thought they were perfect.
Right. I feel like that happens fairly often with the kids. When I hype up something that is like nostalgic thing,
Mm-hmm.
uh, video games, obvious example, right? You like download NHL '94 or something on,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
just like they don't really get it. Now, actually, Holden got something out of NHL '94, but yeah, it's just they're used to so much other better stuff. So maybe that's true with food as well. I don't know. So I wanted to mention a couple things that came up as you were saying that. One, speaking of nostalgia, you remember Garbage Pail Kids? Were you into that when you were little?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's back. We were at.
I mean, I wasn't really into it, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
It's back.
I mean, this has little to do with anything. The other thing I was going to say it does, but I went to an ice cream shop with my daughter this weekend because she wanted to go get ice cream, and they have all these nostalgic retro toys, and now they're selling Garbage Pail Kids in like the minis, like the mini trend where all the toys come in minis, mini brands of everything.
Okay.
They have like mini Garbage Pail Kid packs now,
Huh.
but those old ones like a mint condition gem rate 10.0 of like of Atom Bomb. Remember that guy Atom Bomb who had the nuclear bomb coming out of his head? That's like $8,000 for one of those now.
What?
Yeah, but
Oh my
I mean
God.
that level of rating is like extremely rare, especially for those which like we just threw them all over the place like they were toys. Like we didn't. No one
I mean,
thought they
were
were
expensive.
investments.
Yeah. Do you have any?
Yeah, we still have probably about 20. We got rid of like 200 a couple years ago. But my daughter wanted to keep one or keep a little bit. But their condition is just so bad. I mean, you couldn't tell them for anything.
I recently went through all my. I had been hanging on to a bunch of baseball cards and football cards.
Yep.
And recently sat down with my brother-in-law. I guess it was over Christmas. Who is actively collecting still, like still buying and trading and doing all that stuff. And we went through, and I mean, I had thousands. I had probably had 4,000 cards that we were holding on to, and we went through, and he narrowed it down to like 10 for me to keep, and none of them were like were all that nice,
Yeah, I sort of was aware that is the case. I have 4 large, heavy boxes of cardboard boxes. I mean, it must be 50,000. I mean, just tons and tons of cards, and they are sorted like into binders of like the top probably 1,000 good ones.
Yeah.
But what I hear is that the value on those is like has just fallen out of down the toilet. There's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, well, we don't need to go too much deep into that, but a lot of the ones that he was like stoked to get are worth like $4 on eBay. So he's like, "Oh, this is great." Like, okay.
Yeah. The other thing you mentioned, did you say Morningstar or something?
Yeah.
What were you?
Morningstar Pizza Bites.
Ah, right. Okay. So I at Walmart this weekend. No, where was I? Target. Just what happened? Found myself in Target. Figured I'd go through the frozen area, see what the vegan options were. And we found my daughter wanted bacon. She said, "Let's have bacon tomorrow." And so I got Morningstar bacon. And I got home and I looked at the package and it says 100% vegetarian. So I was like, "Uh oh, that's a warning sign." So I checked it out. Has egg whites and milk in it. So Morningstar is still doing that. I thought they had stopped that. I remember in like 2015 or 13 or something, I noticed that it was like, why are they selling this sort of vegan product, but it's just not vegan? They don't go out. I mean, surely you can make the bacon without those things and it'll be okay. And then you suddenly get, I would assume you double the potential market size for it.
Yeah.
And it's not like the people buying it are saying, well, I want that kind because it has the eggs and milk in it. So I'm going to get that really good one. I just don't understand it. Oh, I remember. Yes, I told you about this because I was talking about my Kellogg thing, how I was going to do consulting for them, and then I just didn't. Didn't ever write back. Yeah. Anyway, so Morningstar is still at it with that trick. So I'm going to try to return that bacon to the store. I didn't open it.
Good. All right, so we got some comments here that I don't want to move past.
First up, we have a typo in the question. It says, "What was your favorite super ad?" We need Super Bowl. And we need it to be capitalized.
My bad. Rushing it through. What was your favorite Super Bowl ad? That is the question of the day. Let's see. Stephen called out that Bianca Phillips, who is a regular of the show and our snack correspondent or something.
Yeah, junk food correspondent. I think.
Said that she had a great looking plate that she shared on social, and she had some of those pizza bites as well. We messaged back and forth in the comments. Let's see. Your wife says, Matt, that happened to me too when you took me to the all-you-can-eat buffet and you thought it was amazing.
Yes.
You were a kid. That was the nostalgia thing. Yeah.
Yeah, nostalgia plays don't work on people who don't have the same nostalgia. They just doesn't work. Doesn't convey.
And then Anna Hall says, I can't believe I was finally able to join live. Let's see. I'm going to bring her comment up here. I've been listening to the podcast for a while. You make me laugh as well as give me great vegan fitness info every day. So welcome, Anna.
Yeah, welcome. Love when people can show up live. Everyone always apologizes, it seems. Well, they don't apologize, but they lament the fact that they can't show up live. We get a ton of people writing on Instagram and saying, hey, I'm a podcast listener, can't make it live because this, at work or whatever. But it seems like people always feel the need to apologize. You don't have to apologize. We love you coming live, but if you can only do the podcast, that is fine too.
Absolutely.
Welcome. All right, good.
So Matt, I got to know, aside from the nachos, what your elevated and ultra refined palate that's superior to everyone else's, what it cooked for the Super Bowl.
I will tell you. Basically, that was all we ate for the Super Bowl. We didn't really. I made a soup that I figured the plan was have these appetizer things. That'll just be a flash in the pan, done in 15 minutes. We'll just house the nachos, which was true. And then we'll just want a regular dinner later on, something healthy after eating all that junk. It turned out the nachos really weren't that junky. Like I said, they had these vegetables and things in there. The worst part about it was the chips themselves, and that's not so bad. I mean, you eat those, every meal of the day.
Yep.
So the soup ended up only Ellery ate a little bit of soup, but we just had that for lunch now. It was beans and mushrooms and greens. It's a healthy thing. The other thing I was going to make that I kind of didn't was the thing we talked about. I think it was last maybe Wednesday or something. This TikTok recipe for the homemade shredded chicken stuff, which is essentially seitan, but you make it with chickpeas and chickpea flour as well as the wheat gluten and some flavorings. So I did that. I tied the thing in the knot and put it in the
you did
for
it
an hour. Yeah, and it was simple. Really nothing hard about it at all. It just you food processor some things and then you just tie it in that knot, put it in the water. And then an hour later, you have the seitan, and I shredded it. That took 5 minutes. Very easy, and it was actually really good. Like it's a nice texture, and the flavors, very much like you would expect from that sort of thing. Just not that much flavor, but it's good, and the texture is chewy. So I actually sprinkled that over the nachos as well, in addition to the stuff that was in the actual nacho recipe. But then I had made enough that I figured I could toss it in buffalo sauce and maybe put that over a second batch of nachos. And if I had had the time to make a ranch or something, we would have drizzled that on top. I ended up not doing that though because we didn't want any more nachos after the first plate of it. So now we just have all this extra shredded, chicken stuff to use. But it was successful. I just didn't end up eating much of it last night. So that was it. That was all.
That's
and
cool.
then Ellery,
I'm glad you did it. Did you take any pictures?
No, I didn't take any pictures of that. I have the leftovers. I could take. I mean, it would look the same. I can take the pictures of the leftover stuff in the bowl. Yeah, it's just not my first instinct. Still, is to take pictures of cooking. My daughter made little strawberry footballs. She dipped them in vegan chocolate, and then we got a little like white icing, dispenser thing that lets you do detail. And she drew the little laces on the strawberries, so they were like little footballs. It was a very creative, great little dessert. So we had that healthy dessert as well.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it was good. And so, how about you? Other than those two snacks, did you make a regular dinner as well?
No, that was literally all that I could pull together
Yeah,
last
right. I'm
night.
surprised you even did that. I would have probably gone to just pizza bites.
Yeah, it was
in that situation.
It was tempted, but man, I was looking forward to those nachos all day. So
yeah, I've never ever made nachos in my life like that. I don't think. I mean, the only time I made nachos is way pre-vegan. If you would take a bunch of Doritos, sprinkle some cheese on them, and put it in the microwave. I've never made a plate of nachos, but now I have.
Yeah. Well, will you do it again?
No, probably not. It was simple enough to do. It wasn't too much work, but I had to make the cheesy sauce and all that. So I don't think so. It was okay.
Okay.
Neil says, is there a limit to the amount of toppings allowed on nachos? No, I think in that situation, no limit. You're free to put as many as you would like, everyone. And I don't know. If you're going to eat that sort of food, that's fine. That's built for that. Pizza is not meant for that. Pizza is an actual serious food. It's good. Should be treated with respect, I think. Whereas, nachos is just a trash pile you're putting in your mouth. And you just got to embrace it.
Well, I don't know what the difference is, but I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Not
good. All right. So we asked this question about Super Bowl.
Yeah, any commentary on the Super Bowl itself?
Well, I won $625 in quarter one because I had number 7 and 7 for my pool. So that was nice. Turned a nice $50 into $625, and half of the money went to a good charity. So won on 2 counts there. So that was good. I actually had great numbers for the other quarters too, because it was the thing where you draw, different numbers for each quarter so that nobody gets too good of a draw. And my numbers were actually looking really good. It was like all these 3s and 6s and 4s. But so I actually thought I might win more than one quarter, but then did not. Got close on the third. So that was fun. And it seemed like a good game. I mean, I say seemed like because I was only paying attention to the pool numbers, which is the problem with those things. You just don't appreciate the game anymore. But it seemed like a good one. I watched all the way to the end. And yeah, the Chiefs won. I was glad about that. Sorry for your relatives in Philly.
Yeah, it was a disappointing ending, but it was a good game. Any close game like that, I think, is exciting. Any game that comes down to the final few minutes. So
yeah, with a lot of points in it, people like that. I think.
Yeah.
Yep, good. All right, and then the ads. I mean, I felt like this was the least of interesting ads here that I've seen. The ones I saw were they just were never over the top things. Whereas usually Super Bowl is all these crazy stuff. It was just kind of weird, sort of funny things. The ones that caught my eye were the beer one, the Miller Lite versus Coors thing, and then ended up being a Blue Moon commercial. Did you see that?
No, I missed that.
It was this weird battle, and you kept not knowing who the commercial was for, Miller Lite or Coors. And it was why are they paired up? Because I don't know if those are owned by the same.
No,
maybe they are. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't think so.
Okay, so I'll have to look that up. But it was both of them back and forth, and finally at the very end, a Blue Moon went on the screen and it said it's actually a Blue Moon commercial, which is Coors. So Coors owns Blue Moon, and I was thinking,
okay.
I don't know. It was really weird. So that was kind of funny. And then, honestly, I don't remember. Oh, the Rob Gronkowski thing. I never got to the bottom of that. It was all hyped up that he was going to kick a field goal at halftime, live, not at the game, but wherever, some other location. And then it was a FanDuel or DraftKings thing, and if he made it, if everyone got something, and if he didn't, some consolation prize. They showed the kick in sometime in the third quarter. It looked completely not live. It just looked like a weird produced thing. And then the kick clearly goes through the uprights, and the announcer says, "Oh, Gronkowski missed the kick, but everyone still gets this sort of thing." And it was just I just didn't understand any of it. It was so strange.
Huh.
So it wasn't during halftime. It didn't actually appear live, and he made the kick, and they said he didn't. So I just don't understand any of it. And I went on Twitter and tried to figure something out, but no one seemed to know what was going on.
Okay. I missed all that. Honestly, I was really only half in and a half out. So, I missed pretty much all of it. I don't, but
yeah,
that
that happens. I've had Super Bowl years where I don't pay any attention to the ads because you're just busy doing other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mr. Jeffrey says, did anyone notice for the first time Pepsi didn't sponsor the halftime show? I didn't notice that. I heard them say app presented by Apple, and now in hindsight, I guess that made me think it might actually be a good show for some reason. Whereas if they'd said Pepsi, I probably would have expected the same. But no, I did not really realize it was a new sponsor. So that's interesting.
Speaking of the halftime show, I had no idea Rihanna had so many hits. I knew every single one of those songs, and she was just plowing through songs. 12 songs in 13 minutes or 10 songs in 12 minutes, something like that.
Right. That's what they do.
And I was like, man, I had no idea she had all these. These were all her songs. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, I can think of about 3 Rihanna hits. And to me, that means she probably has 30. So the fact that I can think of 3 means she's a pretty big star. I didn't actually watch that. I went and cleaned up the Nacho mess and the other mess during the halftime show. So I did not see any of that. Jeff Hudnall says he missed the kick, but that's not what I and a lot of people on Twitter saw. We saw it go through the uprights.
Dale says it was fake.
Right. It looked totally fake. It looked like the ball looked like it wasn't even a real flight happening off of his foot. It was just weird. All right, and then Aisha says, I thought they were merging. So maybe that's what's happening. Maybe Miller Lite and Coors Light are going under the same parent company. We'll have to look into that more. Mr. Jeffrey says, first thing he thought of when KC won was that Matt would be happy about it and Doug will be sad. So that's good. We're infiltrating regular lives with these opinions that we don't hold too near and dear at all. All right, Stephen watched rugby instead. Or no, he is stoked about rugby because he's trying to turn us on to that because Ireland is the number 1 team in the world. You have to keep trying, Stephen. You have to keep bringing us updates or something because I'm not too titillated yet. So keep letting us know about rugby. All right, and someone tried Heineken 2.0. Kate, aka Rivercat, tried the Heineken 0.0. I said 2.0. It's Heineken 0.0, of course, and it tasted pretty close to what I remember of the regular. So that's funny because that's not my experience. I thought it didn't, and that was why I liked it so much.
Mm-hmm. And Conrad, one of our colleagues at Compliment, who sponsors the show, he posted on Instagram that he had tried it this weekend as well, and I asked him what he thought, and he said he thought it was way better than the original.
Yeah, that's what I think. Okay. All right, good.
And Matt, I got an ad on Facebook for Dry February. Maybe they're continuing the dry every month now.
Oh.
So I know you're going for damp February, a truly damp February. So
I'm gonna go for truly damp second half of February.
Okay, so off to a poor start already. Okay. Hey, I got some news. I greased the wheel this weekend. I continued
Grease the groove. All right, good.
After getting so much crap for it last weekend. Not continuing my pull-ups even over the weekend. I did. I came in and I did it and just keeping it going.
Good for you. So what'd you do? Get out there. How many sets of 3 to 5 did you do?
Just one.
Just one each day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Continuity.
Something. What I'm finding is some days I feel way stronger, and other days I do not. And I'm not sure if it has something to do with just energy in general, or rest or something. But some days I'm just like, man, I'm feeling so good, and I'm progressing really, really quickly. And then this morning I did right when I come into the office. First thing I do is a couple pull-ups, and it was it was rough.
I don't know what to tell you. I believe it. I'm sure all kinds of factors could influence that, like maybe the time of day. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, but it doesn't matter. Just keep doing them. Just don't miss a day, and I think you're going to get good results. I think this Thursday is the deadline for my prediction of you doing 5.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Not going to happen. 3 days. Okay.
I did
How's-
3. I did 3.
Good. That's great. I mean, that's triple what you were doing before, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I guess.
that's pretty good. Maybe
Yeah.
you won't be too far off.
Not too far. And maybe it'll click. Maybe it'll click between now and Fred and Thursday.
Yeah, and maybe it seems to work that way for me. You go in there on one day, and then suddenly it's just you can do an extra few. So we'll see. Bad Medicine says, "Are y'all vegan or vegetarian?" Doug and I are both vegan. Most people here probably vegan, but all welcome. We're not too hung up on that. That's why we call it the Plant-Based Morning Show. If you're interested in more plants, this is for you. So that's that one. All right. So I had very few more things, but let's just get into what we've got actually in terms of show plan today. Kind of quick stuff as far as morning weather report and such. Tofurky, my favorite fake meat producer because it's the healthiest of the large ones. They announced that Morinaga Nutritional Foods has acquired the company and its sister brand Mucho that I've never heard of. Moocho. So now Morinaga has the number 3 brand in the U.S., which is Tofurky. I guess that's behind Impossible and Beyond Meat. And Morinaga, for those who don't know, they make that Morinu silken tofu, which I think a lot of people have seen in stores before. It's definitely the one we've bought before. It turns out they're the supplier of all Tofurky's tofu, so natural fit, and hopefully nothing changes because Tofurky, I think, has done a good job of remaining kind of low processed as far as the plant-based meats, and they make pretty good ones. The other one, little data. There's always data in these morning reports, surveys, and things. Explosive growth of plant-based foods on U.S. restaurant menus, according to the Plant-Based Foods Association and Data Essential. Their new State of Plant-Based in Food Service report says that plant-based alternatives have increased by 62% in the last 10 years. That's a little different from the 3,000% increase that we read a couple weeks ago, some crazy report by some other metric. But nearly half, 48% of U.S. restaurants now offer plant-based food options, and it's the term plant-based is the one that has grown the most from these things. By the way, that 62% number has grown about the 48% is up 30% from 10 years ago. So that's pretty good. I mean, those are numbers I think I can believe. That's kind of in line with what seems like.
Sorry, 48% is up from 50%. I mean, 30%.
No, it's up 30% from 10 years ago. So interpret that how you want. I think it probably means that it was like 40% before, and now it's a third higher, so it's 48%. Or
I see.
That's my guess. I don't really know, but that sounds right. Modest. I mean, that's not even modest. That is serious big growth. It's just not 100x growth in a couple of years. So
Matt, are you actually seeing plant-based on menus, like where it's plant-based?
Yes, I actually am, and I'm seeing that in the mainstream kind of restaurants. Like when we went to like another name. Oh, Carolina Ale House. Have you heard of that place, Doug?
No.
It's like in Charlotte area. I think they're probably in Raleigh too, and they're probably in South Carolina. It's just like I don't know what to compare it to. It's just like sports bar kind of food, chain restaurant. The soccer teams always go there for events when we're out of town.
Okay.
But like their menu, like they had like the plant-based section, and then I think the other place that has like 800 beers.
World of Beers.
No, they probably say plant-based too on their menu. Honestly, I'll have to look up the name. Anyway, a place that has a bunch of Gardein stuff. I'm pretty sure they call all of that plant-based. And when they say plant-based, you have to be careful because there was things that were clearly not vegan on the plant-based menu at Carolina Ale House, like their burger. I think it was Gardein. I don't remember. Or no, it was a chicken sandwich. They had a buffalo chicken sandwich, but it was a brioche bun, and those brioche buns are never vegan. So I asked if they could substitute, and they said no other buns than that. So that's what plant-based. It's good for me because I think that's going to help with adoption. Just let it be plant-based. Who cares if it's vegan or not? It's plant-based. that'll help people get that. But it's just not that great for vegans because you got to be careful.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
not seeing that?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen that much. I'm still seeing vegan most of the time. I am seeing it on like on products. I mean, like the ranch dressing and stuff like that. A lot of them will say plant based. So you're seeing it. You are. I am seeing it, but not so much on menus.
I think the reason, the explanation for that is I think you go to niche, local type restaurants, which is what we did too in Asheville.
Uh-huh.
But now that we get out to more like mainstream places, like the soccer thing would bring us to, that's where I see the return plant based on these big, large, mass produced chain menu places.
Yep, that would make sense. I would not be surprised if that were true.
Yep. I'm mad that I can't think of the name of this place. It happens to me a lot. Yard House. That's what it is. Yard House. They have a Gardein menu, and I'm pretty sure it says Gardein plant-based, but there are things on there, many things on there that are not vegan. You ever been to a Yard House, Doug?
I have not been to a Yard House either. So they've like partnered with Gardein, like all their stuff is.
Yes, exactly.
Huh.
And Carolina Ale House, I think that's also Gardein.
Huh.
So that's Gardein's move is to do that.
Kind of smart, actually. I like that.
Yeah, right. Agreed. All right.
What did you say under your breath there?
About what?
Something about experience. It doesn't matter. Thought you were giving me a hard time. All right.
No. Hey, Mr. Jeffrey loves Yard House, and he stole one of the yard glasses. So yeah, I think you can get a yard of beer if you want, and it's like a tall thing. I've never done that, Mr. Jeffrey. So good for you. But yeah, it is. I always enjoy when we get into town after a 3-4 hour drive, and then it turns out we're going to Yard House because it's one near the hotel. That always makes me happy because they have about 100 beers on tap, and they're good.
Very nice.
Yes. Okay. The only substantial news article to share is one you sent me, Doug. It's a follow up to last week's news about Chick-fil-A rolling out in 3 test markets their cauliflower sandwich, which you really called foul. See what I did there on the fly, Doug? Wasn't even planning that.
that was pretty good.
Yeah. You called foul and you said, people are not going to do this. It's not going to be nationwide. No one wants a cauliflower sandwich at Chick-fil-A. And it's not vegan.
One wants a non-vegan cauliflower sandwich, actually.
Right.
Mm-hmm. They're not even calling it vegetarian.
No, they won't, but Veg News called it vegetarian. So I think this is one of those places, or one of those things where, just like Burger King, I don't think they'll call their stuff anything because it's.
Oh yeah, okay.
They don't say plant-based again, because you never know with cross-contamination and such. So anyway, it turns out I don't know if you read or not, because the same thing happened with Cracker Barrel when the Southerners and all their other clientele, not all, but a lot of them, did not like the inclusion of Impossible sausage on the menu. Well, this one is from Gizmodo.com, which is an odd source for this. I thought it was like a tech.
It is.
Site,
my mom didn't. She was telling me about this controversy, and I just Googled it. This was the first article that showed up. So,
all right. Well, the headline is "Conservatives are pissed at Chick-fil-A's woke sandwich." Woke in quotes there, and then the subheadline: "The conservative chicken chain has angered its base, and all it took was adding a cruciferous vegetable to the menu." So I think that sounds like they're kind of mocking a little bit there with the headline. So, yeah. And so, I mean, there's really not much to the story other than they tweeted that they were doing this, and people just ratioed the tweet. Lots of quote tweets on there, and people just making little one-liners. And the article is just a bunch of these one-liners. Pathetic, no more Chick-fil-A. These are just a few of the tweets. Chick-fil-A's woke, avoid at all costs. Cuck-filet. I don't know what that means. Is cuck some sort of political term I should know?
I actually don't know. Sounds like it.
But... CFA is caving to the vegans. So this one I read, and I was like, well, that's not a political tweet. It doesn't sound like it's conservatives. And then I looked at the tweeter or the user, and it's Real Texan Politics, and it was an American flag. So I guess that is political. But I was actually, that was my favorite of the tweets. I was thinking, okay, like that's someone who isn't. This is before I saw who wrote it. I thought, okay, they don't like that their restaurant is selling out a little bit, right? Like they have a popular niche. It's sell chicken.
Right.
Like, I can see in other contexts, you'd rather have someone just embrace the thing they're all about and not try to like start broadening, right? Because you like that thing. So I kind of understand that. But then once it gets political, which I realized it did, then I didn't like it anymore. Someone else says, I actually like cauliflower crust pizza, but this is stupid and gross. Chick-fil-A better not go woke. That's a strange one. I mean,
I thought that one was really funny. That was my favorite.
yeah.
Yeah. What's interesting, what stood out to me about this was that as of this is when was this article written? On Friday, so a couple days after they announced it. As of today, the tweet has garnered 3.5 million views, and the comments have been disabled on the Chick-fil-A tweet. The post was also rationed with quote tweets, blah blah blah, likes, and press release announcing the menu item link has been taken down.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I wondered what that meant.
I don't know. I'm like, are they just not into the controversy and just trying to avoid it by just kind of pretending like it's not happening, or
Right.
what? I don't know.
Right. I don't know either. Maybe they're not used to this. Like if they've appealed to one particular, and I actually thought Chick-fil-A sort of appealed to everybody. I didn't think it was like a Southern or conservative thing, but it is a Christian organization. That's why they're closed on Sundays, which is always an odd thing. If you're not expecting that.
I wouldn't call it a Christian
They had that
organization.
vegan salad, right?
I would say that. I don't know that I would call it a Christian organization. The founders are very conservative and follow a set of guidelines, I think, right?
I don't know. I'm not putting conservative and Christian together. I'm like I know the founders are religious, right? Like isn't that why they
yeah
on Sunday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why they close on Sunday, and then they they've been there's been a lot of pushback against Chick-fil-A over the years by more progressive people because of the donations that the founders have made.
Okay.
Certain organizations, but
gotcha.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just thought this was so funny. Like it's so funny how people get offended by a business's expansion of their menu. It's like,
it is funny, yeah. That I mean, you make an offering that you don't have to get. It's just other people can get that now who have a dietary restriction. But yeah, I guess if you're appealing to people who they don't like, then I guess that makes sense. I'm just trying to see the other side here. I'm trying to put myself in this shoes. Like, what if our favorite vegan organization or vegan restaurant started having a paleo menu item there? Like, let's say you had a vegan place that was known for their great vegan food, and it happened to be that they, let's say that some technique of cooking, deep frying, whatever was their signature thing, happened to be all vegan, and then they add a paleo item that's a real meat burger. We'd probably flip out about that, right? We'd say, why are you expanding your menu?
It feels very different to me, but I mean,
on the side.
Maybe. I guess so. I don't know. It's just like, it's not, that would ruin the vegan everything else. This is not ruining the chicken sandwiches, right? You can still get your
but it ruins that whatever the ideology is that certainly some group of these people share. Right, like, and if Taco Bell does this, people don't care, because I don't think there's this whatever this, and I'm going to say Christian again, because that's I think of that as like something that sort of makes Chick-fil-A what it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I see why they are. It's crazy to me that people get that upset. And also, like with what's it called? Sorry, Cracker Barrel. Like, one of the criticisms there is they're adding this crazy high-tech food to this traditional menu. This is just cauliflower. Like, this isn't like crazy, potentially unhealthy, ultra processed. It's just a cauliflower thing instead of chicken, prepared the same way. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal. You eat French fries, and that's potatoes sort of prepared the same way, not quite the same, but similar. So I don't know. This is seems like an overreaction to me, but I do understand why they are doing that.
I guess. Maybe.
Come on, Doug. You got to admit, there's another side. They have. If you were in their shoes, you might think exactly the same way.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I would if there was a vegan chain that suddenly started adding meat to the menu. Like,
in
yeah.
a separate, like, let's say it didn't make the place no longer vegan for you. It was still vegan for you.
Mm-hmm. It
Like a
just, I
separate
mean,
little.
but like vegan is like an ideology, right? I mean, it's like so much more. Like if they were,
But so is this. So is this
so is a
southern.
chicken restaurant? Come on, maybe.
Yeah, I don't. I think Chick-fil-A is from Atlanta, right? Is that where they're made?
Yeah. Yes.
So I think that just runs deep in the DNA. Is this sort of southern
Maybe.
Christian, thing? Chicken's chicken. And what's
I
this
mean, I
about
guess.
Jesus chicken? Why is it saying they poisoned Jesus chicken too? What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know.
Uh,
All right, I'm gonna Google Jesus chicken real quick.
I mean, maybe maybe people do like Chick-fil-A because of the values that they have outside of, if you can call it that, because of their political stances and their Christian stances outside of the food itself. And I guess if that's the case, then that would be a little bit more aligned with the vegan restaurant.
And is Cracker Barrel, are they the same category? Like, I don't know what their people donate to and all that, but I sort of think of them as the same. I don't know that their clientele values the same sort of stuff, same ethos.
I mean, their clientele probably does. It probably attracts a similar person. Yeah.
And didn't they have a thing before? Didn't they have something that was
Oh, they did.
controversial?
Yeah, I think it had to do with homosexual employees, maybe.
Mhm. Yeah.
Trying to
So there's
remember.
the theme here, kind of, to me, that
Maybe. Yeah.
these types of people, they don't want vegan stuff added to their menu. Okay. So yeah, I think Jesus chicken. I think that's what people are calling Chick-fil-A. I don't really know. Didn't not
really?
enough time to figure that out on the fly here, but
Okay.
someone knows, they could let us know. What is Jesus chicken?
Well, I hope their cauliflower sandwich succeeds. I highly
Changed
doubt.
teams now. Are you rooting for it now? I guess you were never not rooting for it. You just didn't think the
Yeah, no,
outlook was good.
I had
Right.
zero hope that it would succeed. I don't know, or I didn't think it would. If it does, I think that'd be great. Also, always good to add a vegetarian option to a menu.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. And like I said, this one seems like a fairly benign menu addition in that it's not high tech food or something that seems like crazily out there. I don't know. All right, Steven says cuck is a sexual term. You can Google it later. I will definitely do that. Jill points out that it is not vegan. That's right. The sandwich itself is not vegan. Still interesting though. All right, my mom said, yeah, the kale salad. My mom says that they have that and it's delicious. It's not under salads, it's under sides. Yeah, I've stopped there and gotten that before, and it's pretty good. So they weren't mad about that. They weren't mad about kale on the menu, but I guess the cauliflower chicken is too much. And then
I would actually be more upset, I think, or like I could see people getting more upset if they started adding a bunch of vegan chicken, like
right.
If the menu became,
I think so.
had several vegan chicken options. Like I could see that pissing people off more than a cauliflower sandwich, which is clearly something very different.
Right. You're right. I mean, you're adding a deep fried vegetable to the menu.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't in a sandwich, if they just had cauliflower bites, I think people probably wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
It'd just be a menu addition.
Yeah.
But now that it's a sandwich somehow and it looks just like a chicken one, I think that's you're right. That's the problem. All right. Jill says they call it Jesus Chicken because it's a Christian-based company that honors Sunday and mandates all stores to be closed for the Sabbath. Yeah, right. Okay. I just thought maybe there was something more that it meant something more than that. But so that's actually like I didn't know that the company donates to whoever you're talking about that they do. I just thought that was like an odd bit of trivia about Chick-fil-A. That it was like a normal chicken restaurant, but asterisk, they're closed on Sundays because they have these religious values. It sounds to me like the fact that there's a name called Jesus Chicken that people call the restaurant means that there's much more, that it wasn't just a little like footnote about the company. It's like it's part of their ethos. So I just didn't ever realize all that. But that
they came under fire for their, I think it's the founders, not the actual organization of the their political donations. But Kate adds here that it was the protesters that started calling Chick-fil-A Jesus Chicken, and then the conservative fans kind of embraced it.
Okay,
that's interesting.
So you even embraced Soy Boy.
Exactly.
Yeah. There we go.
Proud soy boy over here.
Okay, good. Aisha says
Um,
maybe they put vital wheat gluten in this cauliflower sandwich. How's the texture worth a sandwich? Yeah, I don't. That's a good question. I don't know how you'd make it like chewy enough, unless you're undercooking the cauliflower. Then it would be crunchy in the middle, and that'd be weird. So yeah, it would take a really perfect cooking, and maybe that's what fast food restaurants are good at is uniformity, and they can dial it in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be curious to try it if it was vegan. Wouldn't
Right.
be great, but I'd be curious.
Mhm.
All right.
All right.
Anything else to add there, Doug, to this controversial topic?
No, I mean I will continue to not get that sandwich, but not because not because the Chick-fil-A has gone woke. But I if adding a cauliflower sandwich makes you woke, then I'm okay. I'm okay being woke now.
Yeah, you're right. That seems like a minor transgression there to add a cauliflower sandwich to your menu.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. All right, good. Well, we're back. We knocked out the Monday show. The week is underway. We're over that hurdle, Doug. It's always hard to.
Yeah, the Monday show is
Come
always
back.
the worst. Yeah.
I don't know if it's the worst. It's just you don't know which way it's going to go. Could be slow moving.
Mm-hmm.
Could set you up for a bad week. But considering circumstances with your house being sick or with Katie being sick,
Yeah.
I think we did all right. Yeah, I hope she gets better, Doug. Pass along the regards of me and all the listeners.
I appreciate that for you and for everyone else. Yeah. Oh, so Friday teaser here. Friday, I'm going to be doing my first show from a different location. We're going to Atlanta Thursday night, and
Okay.
I haven't done that yet. So
On location, Slutty Vegan parking lot, perhaps.
Possibly, maybe.
Or there's Buffalo Wangs or something like that.
Oh yeah, the chicken wing, the vegan chicken.
There are actually two vegan buffalo wing or vegan wing places that are in Atlanta because I was trying to find some for Erin to go to, and she didn't go to either because it wasn't near. But one of them is called Wang, something WANG. Anyway, you should check that out. They did go to Slutty Vegan. I'm not going to tell you how it was. If you paid attention to Instagram, you would have seen Erin put up a story, or she and Holden did, on our account, on the Plant-Based Morning Show account, and Slutty Vegan actually put it in their story, so that was cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, we might have one of them on to talk to us about how they liked it. I won't spoil it, but we'll see. We also might not do that, but we'll just and if we don't, then I'll tell you what they thought.
Okay, great.
All right, but I'm looking forward to your Atlanta trip. There's a lot of good vegan stuff in Atlanta.
Yeah, there sure is. Yep, I'm excited. It'll be fun.
Okay, good. All right. And why are you going to Atlanta, Doug? Any sort of like a baby being born or something?
No, just visiting my sister and her family for the weekend. Katie. Well, that could change things, but hopefully she'll be better by Thursday.
Okay.
Because this trip got canceled already because of COVID. A couple weeks ago, my sister got COVID. So,
oh man, okay. People still getting COVID, huh? So that was kind of done. I just haven't heard of it in a long time since the UFOs took over.
That's right. All right. Well, goodbye, everyone.
Hang on. I'm not going just yet because Jody says she would love to see Erin and Holden on here. So that's good. Popular demand. Like awesome. That. And then Mr. Jeffrey says, closing remarks. How many toppings on a burger? I'm not going to go down that road. It's too late in the show for that. We could open that debate up next time.
Maybe that could be tomorrow's question of the day. Maybe we just go through every food and see how many toppings.
How many toppings is the
right appropriate?
I like it. Love that idea. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. This is fun. We'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy your Monday.
All right. See ya.